This machine moves a 3,600-pound trailer without your truck, and a tiny magnetic camera can make solo hitching a whole lot easier. If you are over 50 and still towing, hauling, or working on your own pickup, especially if you are living alone, this list is for you. I found 40 Amazon truck accessories, garage tools, towing upgrades, and car products worth seeing. These are Amazon affiliate links, so we may earn a small commission if you buy, at no extra cost to you. And stay with me through number 40, because the final upgrade gives a Ram a completely different look after dark. Let's get started. Number 1. Electric Trailer Dolly. $1,099.99. Moving a trailer a few feet usually means getting back in the truck, lining everything up, and doing the whole backing routine again. This powered trailer dolly is rated to move trailers up to 3,600 pounds with up to 600 pounds of tongue weight. Its 24-volt, 800-watt motor gives you forward and reverse control, while a 2-inch ball connects to the coupler. That makes it especially interesting for positioning a boat, utility trailer, or small camper in a driveway, garage, or storage area where a truck feels oversized. The manufacturer specifies a maximum operating slope of about 4 degrees, so this is a positioning tool for firm, relatively level ground, not something to trust on a steep driveway. For an older owner who still handles his own trailer, this could turn one of the most annoying two-person jobs into something much easier to manage alone. Number 2. 1,500-pound rotating engine stand. $119.90. If you still rebuild engines in your garage, this is one of those tools that makes you wonder why you fought with a basic stand for so long. It is rated for 1,500 pounds and uses an adjustable mounting head that can rotate a full 360 degrees. 5 casters support the frame, with brakes on 4 of them to help keep the stand where you put it. The adjustable mounting arms let you position an engine so you can get to different sides without constantly wrestling with the whole assembly. The frame also folds down for storage, which matters in a home garage where floor space disappears fast. For anyone who enjoys doing serious mechanical work at home, this is much more useful than another flashy gadget you may only touch twice. Number 3. Retractable hard tonneau cover for Ford F-150. $787.99. This cover is made for compatible Ford F-150 trucks with the 5.5-foot bed from model years 2015 through 2026. Instead of folding panels on top of one another, the hard aluminum slats retract toward the cab when you want the bed open. That gives you quick access to cargo without removing a large cover or stacking sections against the rear window. Integrated rails along the sides can also provide mounting options for compatible rack accessories. The hard surface gives the bed a cleaner, finished appearance while helping shield whatever you carry from weather and casual view. Just verify your exact bed length before ordering, because a tonneau cover is one product where being off by even a little means it simply will not fit. Number 4. Slide-out cargo tray for Ford Maverick. $139.99. The annoying part of a pickup bed is not putting something inside, it is reaching it after it slides all the way toward the cab. This tray is designed for Ford Maverick trucks from model years 2022 through 2026. The high-density polyethylene sections create a surface that can be pulled toward the tailgate, so tools, groceries, boxes, and everyday gear come closer to you. That is especially useful if bending, climbing into the bed, or reaching across the tailgate is not as comfortable as it used to be. It is a simple idea, but it solves a real problem every short bed pickup owner eventually runs into. And for older Maverick owners, avoiding one unnecessary climb into the bed may be worth more than another electronic gadget. Number 5. MOLLE Truck Bed Cargo Divider for Toyota Tundra. $149.99. A big truck bed is useful until everything you put in it ends up in a completely different place by the time you arrive. This divider is designed for compatible Toyota Tundra trucks from model years 2022 through 2026. The steel panel creates a physical barrier across part of the bed, while the MOLLE-style surface gives you additional places to organize compatible gear. Its mounting system is designed around the truck bed, rather than requiring you to start drilling permanent holes into a new pickup. That makes it useful for separating groceries, work equipment, recovery gear, or smaller items from the rest of the load. If your truck bed normally looks organized when you leave and like a yard sale when you arrive, this is the kind of upgrade you notice every week. Number 6. Folding Truck Bed Step for Toyota Tacoma. $169.99. Getting into a pickup bed does not get easier as the trucks get taller and our knees get older. This folding step is designed for compatible Toyota Tacoma trucks from model years 2024 through 2026 and mounts on the passenger side. The 6-inch wide aluminum platform drops roughly 5 inches below its stored position and is rated for up to 330 pounds. You can deploy it when you need access to the bed and fold it back underneath when you are finished. Installation is designed to be bolt-on without drilling, although certain exhaust configurations are not compatible, so check your Tacoma carefully before ordering. For anyone over 50 who still loads his own truck, a proper step is a much smarter solution than using the tire or bumper as an improvised ladder. Number 7. Wireless Magnetic Hitch Backup Camera. $98.99. If you have ever backed toward a trailer alone, moved 6 inches, climbed out, checked the ball, climbed back in, and repeated the process, this little camera will immediately make sense. It uses a magnetic mount, so you can temporarily place the camera where you need a clear view, instead of permanently installing another camera system. The rechargeable camera sends its picture over Wi-Fi to a compatible phone, making it useful for lining up a hitch or watching an awkward blind spot. The listing also includes infrared night viewing and weather resistance for outdoor use. Because it depends on a phone connection, check device compatibility before buying, rather than assuming every smartphone will work perfectly. For solo trailer owners, this may be one of the least expensive ways on this list to remove a surprisingly frustrating part of towing. Number 8. Magnetic 15-watt phone mount charger. $15.99. This is the kind of small upgrade you forget about until you drive a vehicle that does not have one. A compatible phone snaps onto the magnetic mount instead of being squeezed between mechanical arms every time you get behind the wheel. The charger is rated for up to 15 watts with a compatible MagSafe setup, so navigation and charging can happen from the same position. That means fewer cables hanging across the console and less fumbling with a phone when you should be watching the road. A MagSafe compatible phone or case is important, and your actual charging speed also depends on the power source feeding the mount. For $15 and change, this is one of the cheapest products here, but it may be one of the few you interact with every single day. Number 9. Portable Hydraulic Recovery Jack with Lift Mate. $298.99. This is not a normal garage jack, and that is exactly why off-road owners will find it interesting. The portable hydraulic design is intended for vehicle recovery situations where a conventional, low-profile floor jack may not be practical. The included LiftMate setup provides another way to engage a vehicle during recovery work when the terrain or wheel position creates a problem. This is serious recovery equipment, so stable placement, proper rated attachment points, and keeping everyone clear of the vehicle matter far more than speed. Never crawl underneath a vehicle that is supported only by a jack, no matter how impressive the stated lifting capacity may be. For someone who travels off pavement, this is the sort of tool you hope you rarely need, but are very happy to have when the easy solution is no longer available. Number 10. Digital Tire Pressure Gauge and Inflator, $28.99. Checking tire pressure is easy, but checking it, adding air, checking again, and bleeding off too much air gets old quickly. This tool combines a digital pressure gauge, inflator, hose, locking chuck, and bleed valve into one handheld unit. Connect it to a compatible air compressor, attach it to the valve stem, and you can monitor pressure while adding or releasing air from the same tool. The display supports multiple pressure units, which is handy if you work on different vehicles, trailers, or equipment. It also shuts itself off after a period of inactivity, instead of quietly draining the battery in your toolbox. Whether you drive a truck, tow an RV, or simply want to stop guessing at the gas station air pump, this is a very practical piece of garage equipment. If you are over 50 and you still wrench on your own vehicles, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments what truck you drive today and what year your very first pickup was. And subscribe, because we are just getting into the good stuff. Coming up, there is a receiver hitch vise, a trailer carrier with a loading ramp, a kinetic recovery rope, and an upgrade at number 40 that gives a Ram a completely different lighting signature. Some of the cheapest products in this video may also be the ones you end up using the most. Number 11. 3-ton low-profile floor jack, $169.99. A good floor jack is one of those garage purchases you appreciate every time you stop fighting with a cheap one. This model combines aluminum and steel construction with a 3-ton, 6,600-pound rated capacity. Its lifting range starts just under 4 inches and reaches a little over 18 inches, while the dual-piston design is intended to bring the saddle up more quickly. That combination makes it useful across a fairly wide mix of cars and trucks, provided the vehicle falls within the jack's limits. Always work on hard, level ground and transfer the vehicle onto properly rated jack stands before getting underneath it. The jack gets the vehicle up, but the stands are what should keep you safe while you work. Number 12. Adjustable drop hitch for 2-inch receivers, $94.49. If one truck pulls more than one trailer, a fixed ball mount can quickly become a compromise. This adjustable drop hitch is made for a standard 2-inch receiver and lets you change ball height to better match different trailer couplers. Getting the trailer closer to level is not just about appearance, because the correct setup also helps the tow vehicle and trailer behave more predictably. It can save you from keeping several separate fixed-height ball mounts piled in the garage. Before towing, confirm the hitch rating, ball rating, receiver rating, and trailer weight, rather than assuming the strongest-looking part determines the safe limit. For anyone who switches between a utility trailer, boat trailer, or other towable equipment, adjustability is the feature you actually pay for here. Number 13. Automatic Stop Portable Fuel Transfer Pump, $35.99. Pouring fuel from a heavy container while trying not to spill it on yourself is one job most people would happily stop doing. This portable pump is listed at up to 3.2 gallons per minute and uses an automatic stop sensor at the nozzle. It can run from a USB-C power source or batteries, giving you options when there is no outlet nearby. A hose a little over 4 feet long provides useful reach between the container and whatever you are filling. It is intended for compatible fuels such as gasoline and diesel, and it should always be used in a ventilated area away from flames, sparks, and hot surfaces. If lifting and holding a full fuel can has become harder on your shoulders or hands, this is a genuinely practical alternative to fighting gravity. Number 14. Tailgate Anti-Theft Lock for Chevy Silverado, $25.99. A modern pickup tailgate can contain cameras, wiring, steps, and other hardware, which means it can be far more expensive than the simple metal panel many of us grew up with. This small lock is designed for compatible Chevy Silverado trucks from model years 2019 through 2026. Its purpose is to add another physical barrier against quickly removing the tailgate from the truck. The appeal here is not that it turns the truck into an impenetrable vault, but that it adds friction to a theft that might otherwise happen very quickly. Because tailgate hardware can vary by model and configuration, verify your exact truck before ordering. It is a small product with a very specific job, and sometimes those are the upgrades that make the most sense. Number 15. 6-inch Receiver Hitch Vise. $129.99. This may be one of the coolest garage tools in the entire list, because your truck becomes the workbench. The 6-inch vise slides into a compatible 2-inch receiver, giving you a solid clamping point when there is no bench nearby. Its jaws open roughly 5.5 inches, and the design can handle both flat material and certain round workpieces. That is useful for repairs at a job site, campsite, farm, racetrack, or anywhere else you need to hold something still before cutting, bending, or working on it. The vise can also be used in a more conventional bench setup, so it is not limited to the truck. Just remember that the receiver and vehicle still have their own load limits, and a hitch-mounted vise is not an excuse to use a long cheater bar until something bends. Number 16. Folding hitch cargo carrier with loading ramp. $299.99. When an item is too bulky for the cabin, but you do not want to tow a trailer, a hitch carrier can fill an important gap. This platform measures roughly 48 by 28 inches and is rated for up to 500 pounds of cargo. The integrated ramp makes it particularly useful for rolling a wheelchair, mobility device, mower, or other wheeled equipment onto the platform instead of lifting it straight up. The carrier can fold when it is not being used, helping reduce how far it extends behind the vehicle. Remember that the carrier itself also has weight, so its weight plus the cargo must remain within your vehicle and hitch tongue weight limits. And this is a cargo carrier, not a place for a person to ride, even for a short distance. Number 17. Receiver Hitch Reverse Light Pod. $100.99. Factory reverse lights are often good enough for a parking lot and surprisingly weak once you are backing a truck in real darkness. This light places additional illumination low and near the center of the rear of a compatible truck by using the 2-inch receiver area. That location can be useful when backing toward a trailer, lining up near a garage, or watching the ground behind the vehicle at night. It also avoids adding another large light bar high on the truck where it may not be needed. Check the exact wiring method and compatibility for your vehicle before ordering, because receiver lights are sold with different electrical setups. If your backup camera turns into a grainy black rectangle every night, better rear illumination can be more useful than upgrading the camera itself. Number 18. Solar RV Tire Pressure Monitoring System. $69.99. When you are towing, the tires behind you deserve just as much attention as the tires underneath your truck. This system includes 4 external valve stem sensors and a color display that can monitor pressure while you are on the road. The monitor supports solar charging, which can reduce how often you need another charging cable hanging around the dashboard. It also provides multiple warning modes for conditions such as abnormal pressure and temperature. The system can support additional sensors, making the concept useful for larger RV or trailer setups, depending on how you configure it. For older travelers who would rather know about a tire problem before a stranger starts waving at them from the next lane, real-time monitoring offers a lot of peace of mind. Number 19. Real-time 4G car tracker and alarm. $49.95. This little device plugs into a compatible OBD port and turns your phone into a remote window into what the vehicle is doing. It provides GPS location information along with trip history and can send alerts for movement, unusual vibration, hard acceleration, braking, and other events. Geofence features can also alert you when the vehicle enters or leaves a defined area. That can be useful for a second vehicle, a family car, a work truck, or simply a vehicle that spends a lot of time parked away from home. The important detail is that the hardware price is not the whole cost, because the connected service requires an ongoing subscription after the included trial period. If you hate surprise subscriptions, know that before buying rather than discovering it after installation. Number 20. Portable fuel transfer pump with hand nozzle. $64.99. Here is another way to stop treating a full fuel can like an awkward dumbbell. This portable transfer pump combines the pump, hose, hand-style nozzle, and automatic stop function into one setup. The hand nozzle gives the process a familiar gas pump feel instead of forcing you to tip and balance the container. Automatic shutoff is especially useful when you are focused on holding the nozzle and cannot easily see the fuel level inside the tank. As with any fuel transfer equipment, use it only with liquids the manufacturer lists as compatible and keep the entire operation away from ignition sources. If you keep fuel for lawn equipment, generators, boats, or other machines, this is the kind of product that can quietly save your back over and over again. We are halfway through, so here is one for the long-time drivers watching on the television. What was your first pickup truck? Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, something else? Or maybe a truck younger viewers have never even heard of? Put the model and year in the comments, because I guarantee somebody else watching owned one too. And do not leave yet, because the next section has some deceptively simple truck bed upgrades before we get to the serious recovery gear. Number 21. All-weather truck bed mat for Toyota Tundra. $107.99. A bare steel bed is easy to clean, but it also lets boxes, tools, and plastic bins skate around every time you turn. This fitted mat is designed for compatible Toyota Tundra trucks from model years 2007 through 2021 with the 5.5-foot bed. The molded thermoplastic material is shaped to follow the bed floor, while a textured surface helps reduce sliding. Raised edges are designed to contain dirt, mud, and small debris instead of letting everything spread across the bed. Because it is a fitted liner rather than a generic rectangle of rubber, confirming bed length is essential before ordering. If you actually use your pickup to carry things instead of just polishing it, a bed mat is one of those boring upgrades that makes the truck nicer every single day. Number 22. Folding car door latch step. $18.99. This tiny step uses the vehicle's door latch area to give you a temporary foothold higher up the side of the vehicle. The platform has multiple angle positions, so it can sit more appropriately against different latch orientations. Its aluminum and steel construction is rated for up to 500 pounds, and the surface is textured to help your shoe maintain grip. When you are finished, it folds down small enough to live in the vehicle instead of permanently hanging off the side. That can make washing the roof, reaching a cargo box, or securing roof-mounted gear much easier than stretching from the door sill. Just confirm that your latch shape is compatible and keep 3 points of contact whenever you are climbing, especially if balance is not what it was 20 years ago. Number 23. Retractable bed step for Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra. $199.95. Tall, heavy-duty pickups can turn reaching into the bed into a climbing exercise, and this step is designed to solve exactly that. The retractable platform sits below the bed and deploys with your foot when you need another step up, A roughly 6-inch wide textured platform gives your boot a more predictable place to land than a bumper corner or rear tire. Compatible versions use a bolt-on installation rather than requiring you to cut or drill into the truck. Fitment varies between Silverado and Sierra configurations, so match the exact year, model, and bed application on the listing before buying. If you are still loading tools, coolers, firewood, or groceries into your own truck after 60, this is the kind of upgrade that respects your knees without making the truck feel like a mobility device. Number 24. 10-Ton Snatch Block, $26.78. A snatch block can change the direction of a winch line and can be used to build a different mechanical recovery setup when a straight pull is not ideal. This model is listed with a 10-ton, 22,000-pound capacity. That does not mean every recovery suddenly becomes a 22,000-pound recovery, because the winch, rope, shackles, anchor, vehicle, and recovery points all have their own limits. The useful part is flexibility. You can redirect the pull or create a setup that better suits the obstacle in front of you. Recovery forces can become dangerous extremely quickly, so rated hardware, proper technique, and keeping bystanders well clear are essential. At under $30, this is inexpensive hardware, but it belongs in the serious tool category rather than the toy category. Number 25. 12-foot Power Inverter Cable Installation Kit, $35.61. A high-wattage inverter can only work properly if the electrical connection feeding it is appropriate for the job. This 12-foot installation kit is intended to provide the heavy cable run needed between a compatible battery setup and power inverter. The extra cable length can be useful in trucks, vans, RV setups, or other installations where the inverter cannot sit directly next to the battery. It is far cleaner than trying to improvise a high-current installation from whatever wire happens to be sitting on the garage shelf. Cable size, inverter draw, fuse protection, battery configuration, and installation method still need to match the inverter manufacturer's requirements. Electrical shortcuts around high current can create heat very quickly, so this is one place where following the equipment instructions matters more than finishing the job 5 minutes sooner. Number 26. Heavy-duty all-weather floor mats, $34.99. Sometimes the least exciting purchase is the one you appreciate during every rainstorm. These heavy rubber mats use a universal trim-to-fit design for cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, rather than being molded for one specific vehicle. Raised channels and the rubber construction are intended to keep mud, water, road salt, and everyday grime off more of the factory carpet. Because they can be trimmed, you can shape the edges around the footwell instead of accepting an obviously oversized universal mat. The most important thing after trimming is making sure the driver's mat cannot interfere with the accelerator, brake, or clutch pedal. They are not glamorous, but keeping a 15-year-old vehicle's carpet from looking 15 years old is a pretty satisfying result for $35. Number 27. Front passenger power window regulator and motor for Ram 1500, $50.57. This one is for owners keeping an older Ram alive instead of replacing the whole truck because one window stopped working. The assembly is designed for the front passenger side of compatible Ram 1500 trucks from model years 1994 through 2001. It combines the power window regulator mechanism and motor, so you are replacing the main moving assembly rather than trying to rescue worn individual pieces. That can make sense when the glass will not travel correctly, drops inside the door, or the regulator itself has failed. Older trucks can have different connectors and door configurations, so compare the exact year, cab, side, and original part before ordering. There is something very satisfying about fixing a 25-year-old truck with a $50 part instead of signing another 7-year vehicle loan. Number 28. Ratcheting Cargo Bar, $58.90. If you want cargo to stay near the tailgate instead of migrating toward the cab, a bar like this gives you a movable wall inside the bed. It adjusts from roughly 44 inches to 74 inches to span a range of pickup and cargo areas. The ratcheting mechanism lets you tension it between the sides, while padded contact points help create grip. A thicker tube and adjustable stabilizer are designed to reduce the twisting and slipping that can happen with lighter cargo bars. It is especially useful for groceries, coolers, storage bins, toolboxes, and other cargo that you want contained in one section of the bed. It is an organizer rather than a replacement for rated tie-down straps, so heavy cargo that could become dangerous still needs to be properly secured. Number 29. Magnetic Wireless Trailer Light Kit, $65.53. Trailer lights always seem to fail at exactly the time you need the trailer, which is why a temporary magnetic kit can be so useful. These LED tow lights are designed to mount magnetically instead of requiring you to permanently install another set of housings on the trailer. A wireless arrangement also means you are not running a temporary wire the entire length of the trailer every time the original lighting system gives you trouble. That can be useful for utility trailers, boat trailers, farm equipment, or temporary towing situations where a permanent setup is not practical. Before getting on the road, confirm both lights are secure, charged or powered, paired correctly, and displaying the legally required signals in your state. Temporary does not mean optional when it comes to brake lights and turn signals. Number 30. Elastic Truck Bed Cargo Net Organizer, $28.03. Not every item in a pickup bed needs a ratchet strap, but loose, lightweight gear still has a talent for ending up everywhere. This elastic mesh organizer creates a flexible barrier that can help corral smaller items together instead of letting them scatter across the bed. Because the material stretches, it can adapt around irregular shapes better than a rigid divider. Groceries, sports gear, lightweight boxes, cleaning supplies, and other everyday cargo are the kinds of things that make sense here. Do not treat an elastic organizer as a crash-rated restraint for heavy equipment, tools, or anything that could become dangerous during a sudden stop. For under $30, this is basically a simple cure for that moment when you open the tailgate and realize everything you bought is now 6 feet away. 10 products left, and the recovery section is coming next. Stay through number 40 because the last product is not another generic bulb or chrome accessory. It is a full-width cab lighting upgrade made specifically for compatible Ram 1500 trucks without a sunroof, and the turn signals themselves create the visual trick. Number 31. 1-inch by 30-foot kinetic recovery rope, $134.90. A kinetic recovery rope works differently from a conventional static tow strap, and that difference is the whole reason people carry one. This 1-inch 30-foot rope is rated with an 11,200-pound working load limit and a 33,600-pound minimum braking strength. During the correct type of recovery, the rope stretches and stores energy before releasing it more progressively into the stuck vehicle. That can make it useful for mud, sand, snow, and other situations where simply yanking on a rigid line is not the best approach. Recovery points, shackles, rope condition, vehicle weights, and technique all matter, and everyone not involved should be far away from the recovery path. If you have only ever used a chain or old tow strap, learn proper kinetic recovery technique before turning this into the most powerful piece of equipment in your truck. Number 32. 10-pack white LED interior bulbs, $14.99. Here is the missing price from the original list, and this 10-pack comes in at just under $15. The bulbs fit common 1940, 168, T10, 2825, and W5W style applications depending on the vehicle. They produce a cool 6,000 Kelvin white light intended for locations such as dome lights, map lights, courtesy lights, trunk lights, and some license plate applications. Swapping old yellowish incandescent bulbs for white LEDs can make an older interior look noticeably newer at night. Socket type and available space can vary even within the same vehicle, so check each location rather than assuming every interior bulb uses the same base. This is not the biggest upgrade in the video, but for $15, you can change several little places you look at every time you open the truck after dark. Number 33. Hard Flip-Up Tonneau Cover for Ford F-150. $849.95. If you prefer a folding hardcover instead of a retractable design, this one takes a different approach to bed access. Compatible versions use rigid aluminum panels that fold toward the cab while maintaining a low-profile appearance when closed. Support rods allow the cover to remain secured in the fully open position when you need access to most of the bed. That is useful when the truck has to switch between protected everyday cargo and larger items that sit above the bed rails. Because Ford F-150 bed lengths and model year applications vary, confirm the exact selected size on the Amazon listing before ordering this expensive part. At nearly $850, this is definitely one of the products where measuring twice before clicking Buy Now is worth the extra minute. Number 34. In-channel rain guards for Silverado and Sierra Crew Cab. $59.99. Cracking the windows during rain is great until water starts running down the inside of the door. These 4 in-channel deflectors are designed for compatible Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab trucks from model years 2019 through 2026. The reinforced polycarbonate pieces fit around the upper window channel to redirect airflow and rain around the opening. That lets you leave a small amount of ventilation without exposing the cabin as directly to the weather. In-channel installation also keeps the look more integrated than simply sticking a large visor onto the outside of the door frame. If you like driving with the windows slightly open or leave a truck parked in the heat, this is one of those old-school accessories that still earns its place. Number 35. Pair of 3/4-inch D-ring recovery shackles. $23.79. Recovery gear is only useful when you have a proper way to connect it, and these D-ring shackles are designed to provide that removable connection point in an appropriate setup. The package includes 2 3/4-inch shackles, along with isolating pieces intended to reduce rattling and metal-on-metal contact. They can be paired with compatible recovery equipment on trucks, SUVs, and off-road vehicles when all of the components are properly rated. The key phrase is properly rated, because the shackle should never be the only number you look at before a recovery. Your recovery point, rope, winch, hitch, and every connector in the system must be suitable for the forces involved. These are inexpensive enough to keep in a recovery bag, but inspect them before use, rather than letting them rust untouched behind the rear seat for 5 years. Number 36. H10 LED Fog Light Bulbs. $29.99. These bulbs are made for compatible H10, 914.0, and 914.5 fog light applications. The Amazon listing claims up to 18,000 lumens from the pair and a cool 6,500 Kelvin white color. They use a compact replacement design intended to make installation closer to swapping a conventional bulb than installing a separate light assembly. The listing also describes an IP68 sealed construction for exposure to weather. Headlamp and fog light rules vary, and extremely bright replacement bulbs can perform poorly if the housing was never designed around their light source. So beam pattern matters more than a giant lumen number on a box. Check your bulb size, housing, local requirements, and actual light pattern against a wall before deciding that brighter automatically means better. Number 37. Folding bed step for Ford F-150 and Lightning. $189.99. Here is the same basic idea we saw on the Tacoma, but this version is designed for compatible Ford F-150 trucks from model years 2021 through 2026 and Lightning models from 2022 through 2026. The driver's side step uses a wide aluminum platform that deploys when you need access and tucks back underneath afterward. Installation is designed to use existing mounting locations rather than drilling into the truck. Certain configurations, including some Raptor and dual exhaust applications, are not compatible, so the fitment notes matter. A step like this is far easier to use repeatedly than climbing on a tire, balancing on the bumper, or pulling yourself up by the bedside. If you are planning to keep your truck for another 10 years, your knees will probably appreciate this purchase long before the truck does. Number 38. In-channel window deflectors for GMC Sierra 2500 HD. $99.99. These deflectors are made for compatible GMC Sierra 2500 HD applications and fit into the window channel rather than sitting far outside the frame. Their job is simple: redirect airflow and weather so you can crack a window without taking the full blast of wind or rain directly into the cabin. The listing describes the material as shatter-resistant, which matters on a part that spends its entire life exposed to sun, cold, car washes, and highway airflow. They can also help reduce the booming sensation that sometimes happens when a window is opened just a little at speed. Cab configuration and model year still need to match, so use Amazon's fitment information rather than shopping by the Sierra name alone. This is another example of an accessory that does almost nothing dramatic on camera, but can make the truck more pleasant every day. Number 39. Adjustable Ratcheting Cargo Bar. $37.99. Here is a simple way to stop coolers, toolboxes, groceries, and other gear from sliding all the way to the front of your truck bed. This steel cargo bar adjusts from about 40 inches to 70 inches, so it can fit across a wide range of pickup beds. The ratcheting mechanism lets you tighten the bar between the bed walls without drilling holes or permanently installing a divider. Large rubber grip pads at both ends help the bar stay in position while also protecting the surfaces it presses against. You can move it closer to the tailgate when carrying groceries, then reposition it when you need more room for larger cargo. For less than $40, this is exactly the kind of simple truck accessory that can make an everyday pickup noticeably easier to live with. Number 40. Continuous LED cab marker light for Ram 1500. $249.99. And this is why I wanted you to stay until the end. Instead of adding 5 traditional individual marker lamps across the roof, this system creates a continuous cab light appearance on compatible Ram 1500 trucks from model years 2019 through 2026 without a sunroof. The housing follows the shape of the cab and contains a long array of LED lighting rather than looking like several unrelated universal lights stuck onto the roof. The turn and hazard functions can create a sweeping visual effect, which is what makes this one look so different after dark. The no sunroof fitment is critical, so do not assume the same piece fits every Ram cab just because the model year matches. It is expensive for a lighting accessory, but if your goal is to make a Ram instantly recognizable at night, without covering the truck in random add-ons, this is one of the most visually distinctive products in the entire video. If you made it all the way to number 40, I want to know something. Which one would you actually put on your own truck tomorrow? And for the long-time drivers watching, tell us your age and the truck you are driving now, because I love seeing how many generations of truck owners are watching together. Every product link is organized by number in the description, and prices can change after this video is recorded. If this video helped you find even one useful idea, press the thumbs up button. Subscribe for more practical Amazon products for drivers, truck owners, and people who still like doing things themselves. And I will see you in the next one.